This is case number 25CR42644, the State of Ohio versus Leaf Burleson. Mr. Burleson is before the court with his counsel, Mr. Borger. Ms. Tranter is here on behalf of the State of Ohio. We're here for sentencing. There was a pre-sentence investigation prepared. Everyone's had an opportunity to review that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Tranter, anything on behalf of the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything from probation? Nothing further, Your Honor. Mr. Borger?
Your Honor, I know that we had some discussion back in chambers, but I want to reiterate a couple things. One, I've been able to read the pre-sentence investigation, also been able to read the letter that my client had sent to you. I'm frankly surprised at the letter that he had sent to you. I don't know that, well, I think that he wants to discuss that, but essentially what I want you to know is that he's had a very tough time of it very recently. His mother died. He was living in his mother's home over in Hamilton. That home got sold, and when it got sold, he had to live out of his car hotel. It's no excuse for what occurred. He took responsibility for the assault. I think that the letter he sent to you may have obviated that somewhat, but I don't think that that's what his intention was, at least in my conversation with him. He understands that there are consequences here. I will tell you that he has a couple things on the horizon that will be beneficial to him. He's got a sister in the local area that he can live with. He's a contractor, so he's skilled in that he can get some work and he can maintain that work. He's also talked about, and his sister from North Dakota has been in contact with me about moving to North Dakota to get a fresh start period. I think that will be the best thing for him. We ask that you take that into consideration.
Mr. Burleson, anything you want to say?
Well, first, I'm sorry about the letter. I was angry. I admit that. Not at you, more at myself in the situation. I lost everything, Judge, all the way down to the picture of my daughter, who's no longer with me, I'll never see again, and I literally can't see her face. That bothers me tremendously. I mean, it eats me up. I said in that letter, Judge, I'm 50 years old. I've made a lot of foolish mistakes. In your courtroom 5-6 years ago, I said the same thing. I was wrong then. I'm wrong now. I should have never been in that position with this woman. I should have never been arguing with somebody at 11 o'clock at night. That's on me. I am guilty of that. Absolutely. And, you know, what else can I say other than I got 8 weeks till winter kicks in. I can't work. I'm trying to get my life together. I still owe him court costs. I lost everything. I'm not asking you to think, I'm not saying justified. I'm not shunning responsibility. I'm guilty. And I'm sorry to her, you, Ms. Tranter, court, myself. It's been a rough road. And I can only ask you now, I've been in here 76 days, 3 months on house arrest, which I know doesn't count. I made an effort. I paid hundreds of dollars. I had to peddle my mother's things just to do that, to come to court, Uber fees and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want you to have sympathy on me for that. I'm not justifying it. My dog, my cat, everything's gone. And, you know, another day in here, I hope that's not necessary. Please let me go. I still got to go to Hamilton County and deal with the misdemeanor there. And, you know, my sister's 1,000 miles away trying to help me. Please just let me out of here.
At some point, Mr. Burleson, I don't understand. Just in reviewing your record, I mean, this is you have some pretty serious cases that you picked up down in Florida.
Yes, sir.
Burglaries.
The judge now focuses on Burleson's criminal history, including burglary, attempted burglary, and robbery convictions. He also points to a substance abuse disorder and a positive methamphetamine test in this case. Despite Burleson's difficult circumstances, the judge makes clear that repeated choices, drug use, and past offenses will heavily influence today's sentence.
Attempted burglaries, robbery. I mean, this is not your first go round. You've been before this court before. You have a substance use disorder that you seem to just kind of gloss over. In fact, the recommendation is that you do an inpatient treatment program, and I will tell you that it's fairly rare for the assessor to recommend that. I'm just telling you that right now.
Her and I had a
Even
lot.
even in this case, you tested positive for methamphetamines, and at 50 years old, it's time for you to stop using illegal drugs, recreationally or otherwise. It's time for you to start obeying the law, and this whole attitude that you have that the law doesn't apply to you. You tried to manipulate this case. You tried to manipulate the witness in this case, and you can deny it all you want, but the evidence was very clear that you tried to coerce her into dropping these charges. I'm actually quite surprised that the prosecutor didn't try to charge you with an additional felony for that, but they didn't. It's hard. It's very hard, and I understand you're in a bad situation. But the problem that I have is you put yourself in this situation. Your choices through your life, the last 30 years, have put you in this position. So it's very hard to have sympathy on you when it's your choice. It wasn't my choice to put you in this situation. It was yours. When you make bad choices, there are always bad consequences. Whether they're immediate or not, there's always bad consequences, and you continue to demonstrate that you make bad choices. So I don't know what you want me to do about that. But I understand you don't want to be on supervision, so the only option left for me then is to not offer you any assistance, but simply to try to punish you in this case. Because the purposes and the principles of sentencing, which I take into consideration, one of the things is the seriousness of this. The victim in this case is dead through no fault of yours. Did you have something else you want to say?
Dead? The victim's dead?
I'm sorry.
I didn't know that.
I misspoke.
I'm sorry.
I misspoke.
Judge, I do want to say this. The last time I was in supervision, you gave me
I'm thinking of Miss Hyatt's case.
I was going to say, you're confusing your cases, I
did.
think,
I
Judge.
did. I retract that. I'm
Right.
thinking of a different case.
I'm sorry. It's you could put me on probation, Judge. I don't have a problem with that. I never said that. If I did, I didn't mean to. I was on the probation and did quite well. I successfully completed it. In your courtroom, I had 3 years, and I got off in a year. I paid my fines. I work. When I work, I do well. And you're right. I have a substance abuse problem. I do, Judge. I was clean for a long time. No excuse. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm not shunning responsibility. I'm not trying to manipulate you or anything. I said in that letter, if I'm guilty of anything, it's being in that position in the first place that I put myself in. I'm not blaming this on anybody. It's been 6 years since I've been in trouble, and I'm just asking you to let me out to go to work, to rebuild. I'm not shunning that responsibility, Judge. I'm guilty.
When asked about the case, you said, if there was a victim in the case, Mr. Burleson answered, yes, me, I'm a victim.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Burleson,
Courtroom tension rises as the judge confronts Burleson about his attitude toward the justice system. Although he claims responsibility, his previous statements suggest anger toward the victim and the court. The judge warns that interrupting, blaming others, and refusing authority make it difficult to believe genuine change has occurred.
Mr. Burleson, is there anything else that you want to tell me? Because get it out now, because once you're done and it's my turn to speak, I don't appreciate being interrupted. Again, this is just part of your whole attitude, and I'm going to get to it here in a second. Your whole attitude towards authority, your whole attitude towards the system, it's just, you need to change it, because you're always going to end up in this situation. And again, you do not garner much sympathy from the court when you continue to act this way. So is there something else you want to say?
No.
All right. When asked if there was a victim in the offense, Mr. Burleson answered, yes, me, I'm a victim. She obstructed, she perjured, she is free. I lost everything. She fed me months of arrest. I'll not apologize for it. This whole system is full of shenanigans and is disgusting. I literally lost everything, and she feeds me, and I'm in more trouble. This is all a joke. Everyone should be ashamed of themselves. This isn't justice. So how do I reconcile that with your coming in here saying, "Oh yes, I've admitted my guilt. I was wrong." How do I reconcile that with what your words are? This is after you've already pled guilty, and then you send a letter to me, which I read, by the way, and indicate that you admitted your guilt, but you kind of said in your letter that you didn't do anything. How do I justify that?
I was angry, Judge. I lost everything. I was just angry. There was a video. I did walk away. I did get punched, spit in my face, slapped, hit, my property destroyed. That did happen. It doesn't justify nothing. But it did happen. I was angry, Judge. And I can tell you, I'm sorry.
I'm going to go further because you couldn't stop there. During the process of preparing this report, that had some follow-up questions for you, and your response was, "Fuck probation. I'm not speaking to them." Then you called back and you answered the questions. This is for pretrial. Asked if you'd be willing to comply with all orders of the court if granted community control. Your response was, "I will not do community control unless it is non-reporting. I have given enough for this M1. I want to rebuild my life. I'm going to resolve the M1 Hamilton County, then go to North Dakota." Right?
I didn't write ever anything about F probation or whatever that was. I don't know what that's about. I mean, again, I'm no position to sit here and say, hey, it's just a misdemeanor. Judge, all I'm saying is, I'm not going to say anything because I obviously getting myself in more trouble here. Look, I'm sorry. I'll leave it at that. I was angry.
All right, the court has considered the statements made here today, the pre-sentence investigation, the purposes and principles of sentencing, the relevant seriousness and recidivism factors. Mr. Burleson, I'm not going to supervise you. I'm not going to waste everybody's time. You clearly don't want help. I don't think that putting you at this point in time in an inpatient treatment facility that you're going to like that or that you're going to want that. So I'm just going to order you to serve 136 days in the Warren County Jail. You'll get credit for the 76 days you've already served, and then you will be terminated. The court finds that you're indigent for the purpose of any fines, costs, or other financial sanctions. That's it. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that's all.
The judge delivers the final sentence after reviewing the defendant's record, statements, and sentencing factors. Burleson is not placed on supervision or ordered into treatment. Instead, he receives 136 days in Warren County Jail, with credit for 76 days already served. The court also finds him indigent for financial sanctions.